traditional Spanish breakfast. Tomatoes, olive oil, salt. It should be coffee, but today I'm having tea. And today guys, we'll be going to Granada. My bus is departing in around 45 minutes, but I'm very close to the bus station. So yeah, let's see what Granada has to offer. And I hope as always you'll enjoy it and we'll learn something together. See you soon. So guys, we're in Granada. I'm so looking for a place to have coffee and some pastries for lunch. Then we'll see the monastery and several sites around the old town. So that's the plan. The morning was a little bit chilly, but it's getting better and better every minute. We'll see how it works here. So the first thing I noticed was that the bus station is far away from the old town. It's like a 50-minute walk. But after all, it's walking the world, right? Okay, I'll talk to you soon, guys. Welcome to Granada, a city where history, culture, and flavor all come together in the most beautiful way. To really understand Granada, we need to start with its history. The city has ancient roots. The area was settled by the Iberians and later became part of the Roman Empire in the 1st century BCE. After the fall of Rome, the Visigoths took over, but in 711 the Moors arrived, and Granada flourished under Islamic rule. By the 11th century it became the capital of the Zirid dynasty, and later in 1238 the Nasrid dynasty built the Alhambra, the jewel of Granada's skyline. That lasted until 1492, when Ferdinand and Isabella completed the Reconquista, and Granada became the last Muslim stronghold to fall to Christian Spain. Now you might be wondering, what about the Alhambra? I didn't visit it this time. The truth is, you really have to book way in advance. The price is on the higher side, and since this trip was completely spontaneous, I barely had a day in Granada. Rather than rushing, I chose to explore other corners of the city. And honestly, it was worth it. I discovered places and moments that might get overlooked if you only focus on the Alhambra. My first stop was the Monasterio de Nuestra Señora de la Asunción, La Cartuja, founded in 1506. The Carthusian monastery is one of the most ornate examples of Spanish Baroque you'll ever see. The sacristy alone is an explosion of marble, gliding and light. Walking through its cloisters, you feel both the austerity of monastic life and the grandeur of the Counter-Reformation style that tried to dazzle the faithful. From there, I made my way into the city and stopped at Cafetería Tetería Oriente, a fantastic little spot near the Puerta de Elvira, one of the old Moorish gates of the city, dating back to the 11th century. I started the morning with a strong coffee and a slice of baklava, a perfect East meets West breakfast in a city that embodies both traditions. Recharged, I visited the Monasterio de San Jerónimo, the first monastery built in Granada after the Reconquista, began in 1504. Inside, the Renaissance cloisters are calm and elegant, and the main altarpiece is breathtaking. A riot of sculpture and color dedicated to the military exploits of Gonzalo de Cordoba, the great captain. It feels like history and art fused together. So guys, I decided to go for a ticket for 4 churches basically, including the cathedral. It costs roughly 20 euros. And I think it's worth it. Anyways, now we're going towards the cathedral and to visit the historic center. I'm really excited about it. But I also noticed that there are many churches here and basilicas that charge you extra for entering. So I think that this combined ticket it's a good solution.
A short walk later, I found myself in the Botanical Garden of the University of Granada. Created in the 19th century, it's small but absolutely charming, with exotic trees, medicinal plants, and shaded paths. And right next door, I discovered a gem, Memento Mori, a bar with older tables perfect for people watching. I grabbed a cold beer, let the world drift by, and it felt like the essence of Granada life. Unhurried, social, always with a drink in hand. The afternoon was the perfect time to step inside the Cathedral de Granada. Construction began in 1523 under architect Enrique Egas, right on the site of the city's former Great Mosque. Originally it was planned as a grand Gothic church, but when Diego de Siloé took over the project in 1529, he reimagined it in a pure Renaissance style. That's why the cathedral feels like a fascinating blend. Gothic foundations below, but soaring Renaissance arches and domes above. The facade you see today, with its dramatic 3 arches, niches, and sculptural details, was designed later by Alonso Cano in the mid-17th century, giving it a Baroque touch. Step inside and the light is what really amazes you. Unlike many dark Gothic cathedrals, Granadas is filled with tall windows, whitewashed walls, and make the golden altars and chapels shine even brighter. In the very heart of the cathedral lies the Capilla Real, the Royal Chapel, built between 1505 and 1521. This is where the Catholic monarchs Ferdinand of Aragon and Isabella of Castile are buried, in exquisitely carved marble tombs by the Italian sculptor Domenico Fancelli. Their daughter Juana la Loca and her husband Felipe de Hermoso rest here too. Seeing their resting place is powerful, because it's not just art or architecture, it's the actual turning point of Spanish history, the moment when the Reconquista ended and Spain became united under one crown. Beyond the Royal Chapel, the cathedral is full of treasures, magnificent organs from the 18th century facing each other across the choir, a richly decorated main altar with massive Corinthian columns, and paintings by Alonso Cano himself. The scale is overwhelming. This is one of the largest cathedrals in Spain, meant to symbolize the triumph of Christianity after centuries of Islamic rule. As the sun began to lower, I walked towards the river and found the Fuente de las Granadas, a beautiful 17th century fountain that celebrates the city itself, with carved pomegranates symbolizing Granada's name. Nearby stands the Puente Romano, the Roman bridge that once linked this area to the Vega fields outside the city. Though rebuilt many times, its origins go back to nearly 2,000 years, a reminder of Granada's deep history. And finally, I ended my day at Bar Aliatar, one of the most iconic tapa bars in Granada. This place has been serving locals and visitors since the early 20th century, famous for its bocas, small sandwiches stuffed with everything from fried squid to spicy chorizo. With a glass of local wine and a plate of tapas, surrounded by the lively chatter of Granadinos, it was the perfect end of a day that blended history, food and atmosphere.
Alright guys, so this is almost over. I just visited the Roman bridge and 2 beautiful parks. I also had one of the most amazing sandwiches, one of the tapas bars here in Granada. So I remember this place as a city of monasteries, great food. It is crowded with tourists, that's true, but there aren't that many of them here, as in Malaga, for example. I think it's a great place. Also, there's some fiesta today. I'll check it later, because I saw loads of women wearing these traditional flamenco dresses. Everyone is preparing for the fiesta in the evening. Unfortunately, I have to leave. But anyways, I can totally recommend it. It's been a great adventure. I hope that we learned something together today. Something new about history, about art, about monasteries. And yeah, see you soon, guys.
So that was my day in Granada. Without the Alhambra, but full of surprises. From monasteries and cathedrals to gardens, fountains and bars. It showed me that Granada is so much more than its most famous landmark. Cost. The cathedral, 7 euros. Monasterio de Nuestra Señora de la Asunción, La Cartuja, 7 euros. Monasterio de San Jerónimo, 7 euros. Coffee and beer with baklava, 8 euros. Bar Aliatar, 5 euros. Bus from Malaga, 13 euros one way. What can we learn? Granada is one of the most relaxed experiences in Spain, and city where life flows at its own rhythm. It's big enough to offer history, culture and nightlife, yet small enough never to overwhelm. The layout and atmosphere make wandering its streets a joy, from old Moorish alleys to lively tapas bars. For me, it's simply one of my favorite places in Spain. If you enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you won't miss the next adventure. And if you're as passionate about culture and travel as I am, check out my brand new podcast, Italia Inside Out, where I dive into the daily details of Italian life, those little parts of the culture we often miss. It's available on Spotify. Give it a listen and let me know what you think. Keep dreaming, keep exploring, and keep living your best life. Hasta luego.